Someone who always looks both ways before crossing a one-way street. Let's look at first what this would apply to in real world. You get to a one-way street. Your expectation is that cars are going only in one direction. Now, a wise person will say you should probably look both ways because it's not unheard of for cars to be going in both directions. But what does this mean in programming? Well, it implies that we have to be defensive. When we run into a piece of code, a code that's not ours, we see a new function, we have arguments or something, we shouldn't make assumptions about the way this code is going to behave. If it's documented to behave one way, that doesn't mean anything. If it's not explicit in the code, if the code doesn't explicitly prohibit a behavior, then it's going to actually exhibit that behavior one time. If you consider the one-way street, other than a sign saying it's a one-way street, there's nothing actually preventing a car from going the wrong way down that street. There's no actual gates or anything like that. And that's what we're saying in code. This is the idea behind defensive coding, is that unless you have an assumption directly in the code, something that's very explicit and cannot be ignored, you generally should assume that all those bad conditions are going to happen, because they do. People make mistakes. The world has also become very malicious in coding. We have people trying to break in. And so we have to assume always that things are going to break and go wrong. And that's the idea of the quote, from the way I understand it, and the way it's the supporting of the defensive programming. Just don't assume anything unless it's explicit in the code. You have to assume it can do something else. Thank you.